Hello, 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 hello in the dark, hello in the dark, hello in the dark, hello in the dark, hello in the dark. Outside looking at the moon. Oh, I hope I can get it in my view screen. Oh, there it is. In the trees back there over my head. Let me turn on the porch light here. As it says in the remarks, this is an impromptu. How y'all doing? This is Hawkeye, and I wanted to do this quick video because the moon is in the trees, and I just wanted to make it there. All right, let's see. Where is it? That's the moon right there in the trees. Kind of hard to see, and I had to rush to do this. Oh, that's a better picture because it's setting. The moon actually is setting in the right position, okay? And I've got a video that I have not been able to put up yet. And it had, so that's the moon from my laptop right there. I can't zoom in. At least I haven't figured out how. But there's the moon. And a week ago, before new moon, 3 days before new moon, the moon was so low in the southern, it ain't going to do me any good. Hey, Brother Wayne, how are you? Wade, I'm sorry, I said Wayne. I'm trying to do just a quick update because the moon all of a sudden is now, well, not quite overhead, but it's sitting in the same, it's sitting where it should. That's due west of me, behind me. And so I just had to get out here and do a really quick update because in 1 week's time, in 1 week's time, down, it ain't going to do no good for me to point this camera that way because you won't be able to see. But I took me some video out there in the yard, and I had to go up the hill and almost hang out over my neighbor's fence to even see where the moon was. It was so low in the southern sky, it like to freak me out. I mean, I couldn't get a shot of it, and it was 2 or 3 days before new moon. Now this is 3 days after new moon, so in a week's time, the moon, and I'm gonna get that video up. I'm gonna try it this evening. We went from, oh man, it was way low in the sky. I mean, it was barely above the horizon. It was so hard to see. And then now tonight, it's see if I can get another shot before it goes into the trees too far. Yep, there she is. There's the moon, and which if you were to follow it from my point of view, it's in the right spot. That's it's in the right spot. But it wasn't a week ago. Now I got to try to get that video up because the sun has been setting more northwest the last day or two. Yeah. It's set in the right spot tonight. But 3 or 4 days ago, now we had a bunch of rain and a bunch of clouds, so I couldn't do a video like I wanted to show where everything was. But tonight the moon is way high. Last night I came outside and looked up. I guess it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I looked up, and the Big Dipper was almost straight overhead, which is, again, that's wrong. But now tonight, it looks like we've rolled back up a little the other direction because now the moon is higher. Now, I've been thinking that, this all can't be just the earth moving because the moon's got to be wobbling too. That's all there is to it. The moon has got to be wobbling in its own orbit because in 1 week's time, we have rolled, but at the same time, where the Big Dipper is overhead hasn't moved that much. What doesn't set, Mr. Wade? What don't set down until midsummer? Oh. Well, see, right now, where the sun set tonight was good, but from where the moon is setting now, it's actually about 10 degrees further north than where the sun set. And a week ago, the moon set further south of the sun, which has been kind of regular. I've noticed I've got a window here that points to the west northwest, and the sun's been coming in that a bay window that doesn't normally get sun. And last year, I noticed that the sun came in that window, but it was closer to midsummer. Now, sun's coming in that window kind of early. You know what I'm saying? Kind of early. You going to be monitoring L&M tonight, Mr. Wade? I got to come back in the house and sit myself down here for a second. My back has been killing me. I know that there's been a lot of stuff going on all around Yeah, it was higher in the sky last night, Orion was. I absolutely agree with you. But it set about where it was supposed to. And all the other all the other stars seemed relatively in the same place. Now, where my windows face south from where I'm sitting in my chair right now. And so I got this little window that sits right. Can't really see it for the light, I don't think. Anyway, I got a window. It's right there. And I can sit here in my chair and see the moon, the stars, or the planets, or whatever it is. And last night, I'm not sure, it sort of looked like Jupiter. It might have been Saturn. But a couple of nights ago, I had to stand up because there's a board there separating these two windows, a sill. I had to stand up to see the planet. Last night, I was sitting here and noticed that I watched the planet for, an hour and a half, 2 hours, across my field of vision right there through that window. And it's like, okay, so in about 3 nights' time, the planets have come up from my point of view. So that would mean the Earth has rolled down so that they could come up. I don't think that Jupiter's wiggling around like that. The moon, on the other hand, I can't be so sure about that because we've been wobbling about 15 degrees one way or the other, which gives about a 25 to 30 degree total change, which is what I've been observing sitting here in this chair, going out on my back porch, looking at where everything is. There seems to be a 15 degree, if you could pick a normal, it fluctuates 15 degrees either way for a total of 25 to 30 degrees. That's been my observation. But the moon has been traveling 40 degrees, like from straight over the head to where it was the other day. It was so low in the sky, like I said, I couldn't even find the moon. It was so low. Now, that would mean that the Earth had rolled north from my location, well, at your location, that we would have rolled north for the moon to have been so far south. Now, that just happened to be 2 days before a new moon. And now afterwards, don't know why, moon's back where it's supposed to be. And like I said, I haven't been able to track it because we've been cloudy here with, thank goodness we got almost 2 inches of rain. We're going to have a hot summer. Wade, I don't know. I thought the same thing, but there are indicators that are saying it might be hotter, but I don't think it's going to last long. I don't think it's going to be like a 3-month heat. You know what I'm saying? But we might reach, the 102 degree mark in places where it might normally. Now, you being up there in Calgary, all them ways up there, who knows? I know it's been cooler down here, The other night, I had to actually turn on the heater. And I'm like, this is the middle of April. Okay. I have to turn on my heater, but I was cold and it'd been chilly here in the house for a couple of days. And because I'm getting shade from all my trees, I'm not getting any solar heat. So the house is staying really nice and cool the way it's supposed to in the summertime. But it was actually like 62 degrees in here while it was 75 outside. And normally my house warms up. Didn't. So for 2 days, it was like really chilly in here. And it's still nice and cool. So that's the good news about building a passive solar home. It works both ways, but there are a couple of months in the year that either the sun isn't low enough and it gets too cold or vice versa. Now, with that said, I was trying to remember, it was in the late 80s or the very early 90s. A friend and I, we went living down here in South Georgia. We went up to the North Georgia mountains, and it was the 1st of May, and there was a snow sleet storm that came through that weekend. We were up in the North Georgia mountains. Now, we were almost into Tennessee, North Carolina, up in that area of North Georgia. And I'm here to tell you, it got down to 23 degrees, froze the water in all our canteens. I took enough to stay warm, but so my answer to that is in the late 80s, early 90s, we had a snowstorm on May 1st in North Georgia, which meant other folks in the Appalachians, and I don't know how far how far north it went, but this looks like it might be another one of them years where there's snow on the 1st of May. That would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. My point to that is that summer down here in the South, it got dry for a while and hot for about a month, but that was it. Instead of having 3 months of nasty heat down here in South Georgia, we only had about a month. So, okay. Our seasons are a bit different. Yeah. There are places in Michigan that have had snow on the ground for a month. Can you believe that? And Michigan's a lot further south than you are. I mean, even the Upper Peninsula is further south than you are. I've got relatives in Ohio that have snow on the ground around Dayton and Middle Ohio. And they're like, brother, when is spring coming? For you guys up there, I don't know. It looks like there's another storm coming through. So we're just going to keep our fingers crossed. Wade, I bet you got to go. I'm going to check some other things out. It's almost 9 o'clock Eastern time. This was just a quick update, and I wanted to catch the moon before it went down. I got some other updates too. But by the way, there's supposed to be some serious energy waves coming through. And I got to say that last night I did a meditation outside, and I got hit with something. It was good energy, but I mean, wow, holy mackerel. It doesn't get into the 90s here oh man, it gets into the 90s here all the time. I mean, it has been 90 in December here. So, but by the crow flies, I'm less than 150 miles from the coast. So, yeah, that's about right. Because Tallahassee's about 60 miles south. And it's about, 100, 120 miles south of me is the Gulf Coast. So, Gulf of Mexico. And so there are times when, man, we'll get what they call a Bermuda high. And that high will sit just off of the coast of Florida. And it'll pump in moisture and hot air. And we might get a little bit of rain, but what it does is it drives the humidity up to 110%. And you can be pouring water over your head and have fans on you. And sitting in the air conditioner, it'll still be hot. It's the record here for my house was 103 in the shade. And that's just, but that's been several years ago. And knock on wood, hadn't been like that in a while. So, but wait, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to try to get this other video up to show where the moon was a couple of days ago. So I love you, my brother. Let's see if we can't get back together again. All righty. Have a good evening, and we'll talk to everybody later. This is Hawkeye Two Feathers, commonly known as David Null, a 40-degree C temp. Whoa, that's a lot of jump there. Ow. So Wade, you have a good one. Well, how's work doing, by the way, before I shut up? Everything going? Last time I chatted with you, I think you were sort of started a new job, was working it out. How's everything going? I'm being nosy. And the comment about some of this galactic energy coming in. Good. Work is good. Staying busy. All right, my brother. We'll talk to you soon, and I'm out of here for now. See you later. Adios, my friend.